Sometimes they do overlap. A lot of the practices that we do, practice dragon magic, being a witchy, not just a co-magician in dragon magic. I also practice runic magic. Being a high priestess, we also follow eclectic magic. So there is a whole lot of rituals that are in place. So whenever you're practicing a particular form of magic, you have to change the energy in such a way that that magic ensues. That kind of environment has to be created. Think of it like food. If you are going to present Mediterranean food or continental food or Indian food, you have to create the ambience, right? You have to create the environment like that. So you have to create the energy in the environment like that. So it's highly recommended that when you are spellcasting, you do conduct a ritual to complement that. Having said that, not everyone has the knowledge, because I see a lot of half-baked knowledge everywhere most of the time. Some people are authentic, I'll give you that. You have a lot of information that looks really cool, but it's very difficult to do. You have to have the right wordings, you have to have the right method, right? So there are sometimes situations where there is an overlap. Just when a ritual ends, the spellcasting process begins. And there are auspicious occasions when rituals are conducted, such as birthdays, Yuletide or Christmas. You have anniversaries, an important occasion, right? The birth of a child, the New Year, Samhain, yes. So what happens is a ritual is conducted and then you do a quick spell. Say a spell for peace and contentment, general health and wealth of all the people of the world, or of certain clients of yours, or your own self. But there are times when there is an overlap. But having said that, like I said, you must have the knowledge. You can't just decide, oh, I'm going to light candles, let me just jump around the candles. There is always a method to the madness, like they say. Always. When you have a spell that is being conducted or a ritual that's being conducted, it always starts like, say when you start driving a car, you put the key in the ignition and then you start it, right? There's a process that has to be followed in every single thing, whether you are driving a car, whether you're sitting down to read something, whether you're sitting down to eat, whether you're going to cook, whether you're going to go to bed at night or wake up in the morning and start your day. There is always a ritual. These are all some small rituals we do, right? You have a bedtime ritual, you have a study ritual, so you see the term ritual means it is a process. So there is always a process of doing what has to be done. It always starts at a low level and then it reaches a peak, even in meditation, and then it slows down and then you're done. In spellcasting, in a ritual you have more of a mountain kind of a zigzag thing that happens, but when it comes to spellcasting, the intensity is from low to very high, and there's no cool down after that. You're done, because the higher the energy, the better the result. So that, I would say, is the basic difference in terms of the process of a spell and the process of a ritual. But there is a process that has to be followed in both. Rituals are very elaborate and very rigid. They are not flexible. There will be a method that you have to follow and you cannot tweak it and make changes. When it comes to a ritual, there is a set of rules, there is a way that you dress, there is a way that you conduct yourself, there is a way that your voice has to be conveyed. There are words which have to be spoken in a whisper. There are words that have to be spoken out loud. There are chants that have to happen with you doing a special kind of a movement, and you can't tweak it. You can't say, no, I find this a little awkward, I'm not going to do it. If you have to stand on one leg and do a ritual, and yes, there are certain spells in which you have to, walk in a circle, stop, look up, read something, fold your hands, read something. There are spells, there are rituals like that where you do it. So, and it is the process. You can't take a shortcut because of something that is either inconvenient or awkward. So I would advise that you go through an entire ritual only when you feel that, yes, I can do this. then you should go ahead and do it. And even when you're getting, when you're becoming better and better, as a person who conducts rituals, you have to follow the same thing again and again and again. And of course, before you know it, it becomes second skin for you. Whereas in a spell casting process, you can tweak. There is no rigidity involved. There is no spell on earth that says, please do the exact same thing. Ingredients can be changed. That's the first thing, let me tell you about spell casting. You have oils which are used for banishing, oils which are used for attracting. So if you don't have a particular oil, they'll say, okay, use something else. Same thing for herbs. Then the color codes, the spell per se itself. Maybe not too much of tweaking, but still. So yeah, there is definitely a difference in this aspect also between spells and rituals. Like I said in the previous question, tweaking a ritual would mean changing something that has been practiced not just over a period of time but over generations. If you are going to tweak a ritual, the whole essence and the flavor of the ritual changes, because of which what you are looking for, the mastery that you want to gain, is going to be nothing as compared to what you had aimed for. So let's say if you're reading a book, right? If you want to, the whole intention of reading a book like we read out at Drakaina, where we gain knowledge, where we gain more information, where it satiates a certain part of our occult appetite. The idea is to start from start to finish and then reach somewhere. Whereas if I tweak the book and say, I don't like chapter 4, I'll study the 3rd chapter and then I'll jump to the 5th chapter. There could be something in 4 which was so important and connected to chapter 5, that I've missed out on that whole experience. So if you're going to tweak a ritual, remember you are tweaking something which is already set in stone. Rituals are set in stone. You cannot and should not change it, because they've been thought over 100,000 times before being written and then practiced. If you have any questions also, please don't hesitate to write them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and see you at Rakayana.